Okay, dude, you know what I want to know. We've got Jackie Chan and Jet Li, our two little bees, and we put them in a jar. Do we get to see him fight?
Well, of course you get to see him fight. I mean, they're not that lame. I mean, sure, Jackie Chan just signed to do another movie with Chris Tucker, but okay, maybe they were that lame. But they do actually fight in this movie.
Is this like a lame old, we get like a quick 30-second fight and then we move on?
No, it's a long fight. It's fully satisfying. Okay. This is going to piss off a lot of people, and it's going to make a lot of people deliriously touching themselves happy. The people who really love the Chinese movies these guys have been in are going to freak out over this movie. It is totally made for them, which is weird because it's kind of a never-ending story American kid movie at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like the kid gets thrown into his fantasies.
Tell us what this is about.
Yeah,
okay, I'm sorry.
From what I see, it's like we have, what is it, ancient Japan, China? They got all these Asian people who are from different places, right?
There's this
Chinese?
kid in America, and he looks like Shia LaBeouf if he was a nerd. Okay, and
wait, hold on. I've met Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf is a nerd.
I was about to say, Shia LaBeouf is not a nerd.
His press agents have no idea that he's not.
I mean, granted, he's a rich nerd.
Yeah,
but,
but even nerdier, let's just say. Like his nerdier, no chin having younger brother. Okay, so he's like this kid who's totally obsessed with martial arts movies and the old school stuff, the Shaw Brothers movies. And he goes and he hangs out at this place with this old dude covered in, who's like, real nasty and covered with liver spots, which is very clear is actually Jackie Chan, runs the store. And there's some yim yam about a secret room and a magical staff or something. And he grabs the staff, and there's a situation with some bullies, and wham! Suddenly he's back in ancient China. Now, I know that sounds stupid. You have no idea what happened.
I'm looking at you because this sounds utterly stupid.
Yeah, he basically falls down and he wakes up in ancient China, right?
You know what? I don't know how you don't know how this works. Every time I go into a room alone and grab my staff, I travel back to ancient China.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've
traveled back to John Holmes films in the 70s.
I become Japanese. That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've tripped and fell and woke up in Africa or something.
Sure, but it happened in the 80s in movies a lot. You know what I'm saying?
The magic box that takes you somewhere.
Yeah, or like the kid who's really into something like Last Action Hero. Same type, kind of a similar type concept.
Good point.
Except that was in reverse. His fantasies came to him. Same thing. So anyway, so he's back in China and he doesn't know anything about martial arts. So all these people around there are kicking ass, and Jackie Chan shows up and ta-da, he's Drunken Master. The number one role any fan of Jackie Chan would love to see him play again, and he's the Drunken Master. I mean, they're not even
from that movie Drunken Master.
Yeah, yes. They're not even playing. They're just like, look, dude, he's the guy from that movie Drunken Master, pretty much. And he fights drunken style right off the bat. You're like, oh my god, this guy's badass. And then suddenly Jet Li shows up, and he's the Shaolin monk who always fights with a staff, which is his most popular character from umpteen billion different Jet Li movies. All silent yet kind of snarky when he does say something.
Fist of Legend.
No, he's a badass. And right off the bat, the moment Jet Li comes on the screen, it's like Jet Li and Jackie going at it for like 7 minutes. And from there, they could have just done nothing for the rest of the movie, and I would have just sat awash in the glow of the wonder that was that fight.
See, I call bullshit on Drunken Style because I've tried to fight Drunken Style. Got my ass kicked every time.
You have not been trained in Drunken Style. You know drunken prick foo, and you don't know true Drunken Master style.
Yeah, they don't just put the kung fu in a bottle and you drink it and then suddenly you can fight.
I thought a 6-pack, drinking a 6-pack was training for Drunken Style.
First of all, Drunken Style does not involve the, oh yeah? Well, I'll tell you, motherfucker.
Oh, that's not?
No, that's not. That's Drunken Prick Style.
I've been doing it all wrong this time.
You have to do that. And let me tell you another thing, stance. It's devastating.
Well, I don't even think they should have, because this movie is full of everything that I think people who like these kind of Shaw Brothers movies, that's the stuff that they want to see. Like the girl with the hair that fights for her.
Well, the biggest influence of this movie is the bride with white hair, which wasn't quite a Shaw Brothers movie. It was kind of like mid-'80s when everything changed and it became all about magical wizardry, and they got really into wire fu and stuff. Because it is a wire fu fantasy film, make no mistake.
Now, can you guys stop talking about me like I'm not in the room? I am that guy, okay?
So anyway, as I was saying,
No, this sounds like, they crafted this out of, my dreams and fantasies.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your hair. I thought you had kung fu hair. I'm sorry. I thought you had the perm that attacks.
He always wanted to be the bride with white hair. When he gets at home, puts on his little doily dresses.
I use it to strangle the shit out of drunk motherfuckers is what I do.
Looking like a cross between Storm and Michael Jackson over there. So, no, but I mean, the movie looks like it's
starting something. You be starting something.
Don't do that. Don't ever do that.
Who's bad?
Talking about drunken stuff. but really, I haven't seen the movie, and I know you think I would be the first person to say this looks stupid. But
well, Leon's gonna hate it. I'll tell you that because this is not up his alley at all.
Batman's not.
And anybody who has trouble watching people who can just sort of touch off from the ground and they fly 30 feet in the air, they're going to have problems with this because that's what this genre is. And you can say that's stupid, but you know what? This is a genre that's been going on for 50 years in China. Okay. We may not understand it over here, but it's well respected over there. So you're just going to have to let that go.
Hey, look.
Well, you gotta keep in mind that over there, they're there really is a guy who can shoot web from his wrist.
I know,
That's
right?
so unreal. This was a great movie except for that. That made no sense. And what about this guy who just can have anything on his belt? That's just stupid.
Well, it's funny when you look at the Indian Spider-Man, he's got a gun. He doesn't shoot webs. He's pow, it kills people.
yeah, what about that little nerd that turns into a big green man and his jeans stay on? So,
Well, he's the one who drinks the cucumber Pepsi.
what?
You haven't seen that? That's big in Japan now. Cucumber flavored Pepsi.
I ain't drinking nothing from a cucumber. but no, really,
He's that homophobe.
exactly. It don't look right. But no, this movie looks like you just have to accept it for the laws in physics that it's set up in its own little universe.
Sure.
Because that's the kind of movie it is. It's a kung fu film.
It's a familiar universe for those who like this sort of thing, but a lot of American audiences, like I say, who haven't seen these movies are going to say, what in the fuck is this crap? What is this crap? Why would I buy into this for a second? But it's designed for the audiences who are the kid in the movie, who are that guy who's I loved all these movies. I watched them over and over again, and wouldn't it be great if I could have been in one? And sure enough, you get the training montages that are ridiculous. He learns kung fu in about a day.
You're talking about the little white kid.
Yeah, the little white kid. Yeah, they're okay, here's a bow staff, and here's a waterfall for you to stand under and go,
No.
and you'll learn kung fu. It'll all be great. It'll
Cyrus, it's touching a staff and going back in time is fine, but learning kung fu in a day is where you draw the line.
Well, see, but they don't usually do that in the martial arts films. That's an American adaptation.
So you keep talking about this, and you keep telling us what it's about and who will like it. Did you like it?
I fell in love with it. I thought because I am that kid. I'm the kid who grew up renting all these movies Sunday afternoons. They had a double feature when I was growing up on
USA
crappy TV.
Kung Fu movie.
Yeah, and I sit there and watch both of them. And go, that was terrible but wonderful at the same time.
See, I thought you were going to say, I was that kid that tripped and fell and woke up in China or Japan. See, that's the thing. Jackie Chan and Jet Li, they're Chinese.
Yeah.
But this is Japan.
No, this is China.
Oh, this is China.
Did I
Okay, I
say
thought they grew up
Japan
in
at some
feudal
point?
Japan. I'm sorry. I
No,
thought this
no,
was this. Oh, so okay.
You can't tell the difference.
Yeah, who cares? They all look the same to
And
me.
people are confused because you think these two guys, why haven't they ever been in the same film together? It's because Jackie was Hong Kong and Jet Li was from Beijing, which might as well at that point have been across the world from each other, really.
And for a period of time, there was something of a little rivalry between them.
Yes,
because
there was.
of the way they made films and the way
Yeah, and well, different type. Jackie Chan was always about it's all real stunts. Everybody's really doing it. There's no camera tricks. Whereas Jet Li was always I'm just here to make entertaining films, and had no problem using special effects or wire fu or that sort of thing. So yeah, two very different worlds. And in fact, it's funny in this one, Jackie does do, of course, a bit of wire fu, but most of his stuff is on the ground. Whereas Jet Li does a lot more flying than Jackie does.
Now, have you guys ever seen the movie where Jet Li is making fun of Jackie Chan?
No,
It's a great old, I think, 92, 93 film out of Hong Kong called High Risk. I can't remember I think they released it as Meltdown here.
Oh, I did see that. I didn't realize it was
the one where he's he's playing the stuntman or he's playing a guy who's the stuntman for the famous actor who claims to do all of his own stunts.
Right.
Oh, so
he was claiming that Jackie didn't do all of his own stunts.
So when they're fighting, these guys are probably really fighting.
I think they're old.
I think they're over it. I think they're like, you know what? We're both so goddamn rich, it doesn't matter anymore.
I thought that they were like actually so angry that they fought each other and were flying up in the air and everything? No, you so wide-eyed telling this. I thought you were actually that kid that woke up in China and actually learned Kung Fu in a day.
No, I'm the kid who used to have a real job and a real life and a girlfriend, and I woke up and here I am on Spill.
Yeah, see, I'm just wondering if they, because we'll never know, because, none of us, learned a foreign language, but did Jet Li and Jackie Chan walk around the set together, and Jet Li every once in a while just look over and go, "Hey man, what you doing, man?" Shut up. Those are my American movies. "Hey man, what you never touch a black man's radio." Shut up.
And there's this whole other weird thing. The beginning is like way back when there was a guy who Jet Li also plays called the Monkey King, and he's awesome. He jumps around, he's like, wah, wah, wah. He's like flipping around like a monkey, and he fights this evil warlord guy who tricked him and managed to get him frozen in stone. But the last minute, the guy managed to throw his magical staff back through time, which is sort of the crux and how the kid ended up having the staff. Anyway, it's ridiculous. Who cares? Much like every Chinese film ever made that's totally awesome, nobody gives a shit about the plot. That's not what you watch these movies for.
That's why are they even dealing with a plot? They should have just had a movie where Jet Li comes in and slaps the shit out of Jackie Chan, and they just fight for an hour and a half.
Yeah, no doubt. There's Jackie Chan's drinking into the bar, all drunk and mastered. Jet Li comes over and goes, "Hey, faggot." And that's it. That's the plot.
Hey, just because I like to plow another man's ass doesn't make me a faggot.
No. So what would you give this?
I would give this, for me, a full price, and for probably most people, maybe a low matinee. Because it's not terrible by an American standard. It's just confusing to Americans, I think.
Like, no, I was confused.
What is he? He's flying. He'd be jumping around.
Well, that was the complaint that always made me tear my hair out with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where people would come back going, "Man, you were right. It was really good, but did they have to do all that jumping around? It was so unrealistic." It's like, shut the fuck up. You missed the point of the movie.
See, I didn't know. I thought Chinese people really could fly.
They can.
What if they might? I don't know any Chinese people, and I might be shocked to find out. I find always like, working at like a Home Depot, jumping around, getting the stuff up the top shelves for people. Yeah. I mean, who knows?
They have the ability to fly and to sew sneakers for 14 hours at a time.
That's
incredible.
There's that little guy from Ocean's 11, right? He could jump like that, couldn't he?
Yeah,
right?
like when I ordered Chinese, I thought they came over here and just flew. I didn't think they took a bike or a car.
But they're not really flying. It's more of a rooftop to rooftop bounce like Superman was in the beginning.
That made my food just taste that much better.